I love my husband but am no longer physically attracted to him. Not because of his looks, but because he isn't manly enough. I know this is a horrible thing to say, but I have to say it. It's a throwaway account. My husband and I are in our mid-40s, married for over 20 years, and have 3 beautiful children, all in their double digits. I do love my husband, but I don't know if I'm physically attracted to him, not because of his looks but because of how he lives his life. My husband is a good man, treats me very well, and is an amazing father to our children. Physically, he is tall, with broad shoulders, not skinny or athletic, but not obese either. He is a big guy with a big beard, big arms, and big hands. He is built like a linebacker. He can physically intimidate people with just his presence, although he never intentionally does that. He can control a room and has a very masculine job at which he excels. However, the manliness ends there. This is why I may not be attracted to him anymore, if I ever was. He is not handy. It's not that he doesn't try to fix or do things around the house, but he cannot build anything. Anything he does fix never looks or works right. Often we have to hire people to fix or build things for us. He doesn't drink. He will go out once in a while and have a couple of beers, but he doesn't drink at home. My husband isn't into any manly stuff. He doesn't hunt, fish, or do anything with automobiles, and is not big into sports. He has taken the kids fishing and shooting, just so they have the experience, but he does it just for them. He really doesn't have any hobbies. I begged him to take one up, so he started building Lego sets. He's in his 40s. He loves going to movies, likes cooking. I never have to cook when he is home, and he does a lot of the house cleaning. I will give him this. He doesn't play video games or board games, unless it's family time, or do anime or any of that. He is not controlling in bed. Sex is okay, but I want him to take charge. I won't say anything about this to him. I wouldn't know where to start. I do love him. It's not that I want him to be a drunk or macho aggressive jerk, but sometimes I just want a man to take charge and fix things and be a man. This is bad, I know. I feel bad saying it, just needed to say it. Update 1, hello. I wanted to add a little update to my original post. I don't know how to link it to this one, so you'll have to go into my history. I received a lot of hate for my thoughts and feelings. I realized when I wrote them and read comments about them that they come off as mean and cruel. I have no right to feel this way. The problem is that I do feel this way. I don't know how to change it. I thought about it for a few days and finally needed to take action because it was weighing on me so bad. I received some messages from people telling me to have a conversation with my husband. I decided to. I thought for quite a while about what I would say, how I would say it, and tried to think of questions or statements he would have that I thought about responses to. Last night we had a talk. Kids were at work and at friends' houses. We were sitting outside enjoying the fresh evening air. I brought it up. In short, nothing went as expected and I am as confused about my marriage as I ever was. I began by telling him that I love him. I love that he is a great father and person. However, there were some feelings I could not shake and there were some changes from him that I needed. I talked about his hobbies, changing it up a bit. Working in our bedroom, what I wanted out of it. I explained in the most sensitive way that I could about how I feel about his personality and overall measure as a man. I did not use those exact words. I was more gentle. However, in order to move forward with our marriage, I felt I needed to be honest. I did tell him that I wanted honesty from him as well and wanted him to tell me what I could do to be a better wife. I know I cannot ask him to change without having some changes myself. I never expected his reaction. He literally just stared at me. Said nothing. His reaction was emotionless. No anger, sadness, acceptance, nothing. Just stared. I said everything I wanted to say. I was looking for a response. I got none. After sitting in silence for a while, waiting for some reaction or words, I just yelled at him to say something. At least tell me what I need to work on. The only thing he said to me last night was, "I knew who you were when I married you. I am not going to ask you to change anything." That's it. We sat in silence for at least an hour after that. Our oldest then came home from work, and he went to talk to him for a while. Not about our conversation, but how work went and stuff. My husband did not sleep in bed last night. He slept on the basement couch. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel. I do feel better about telling him how I felt, but not as great as I thought. I really do not know how to feel. Maybe that's a sign my marriage is over? I can't feel anything about it. I should be happy I said it, sad he won't talk to me, angry for no response, but I have nothing. I guess I'll give it some time for both of us to process. Update 2. I apologize again, I still do not know how to post my previous updates or the original post. Please look at my history. My last update I laid out what happened while talking to my husband. He spent that night and last night on the couch downstairs sleeping. We haven't talked about our conversation. He has talked to me, but not about that, and the talks we have are short. We have had our kids around all weekend, so I never have gotten the opportunity to sit down with him, and with him sleeping downstairs, I figured to just give him some space. I don't know how to proceed. I have talked with a coworker about this, just to get advice since I needed someone in my life to talk to. He advised me to give it a bit of time to let my husband talk to me. But if there's no change offered by him, then it may be time to tell him that we need to separate. I don't want to do that, but it may come to that. I want him to see where I'm coming from, and I want him to tell me what I can do to change. That is where we are at. No real big update, but I will give him until the end of the week. If he doesn't initiate anything, I will. Edit. Okay, I had to edit this post because there have been some comments about my coworker. I had these feelings about my husband before I talked with my coworker. We are not having an affair, we are not doing anything inappropriate. He is giving me some guidance because he is a man and I figured he could help. Nothing more than that. Also, please stop calling me names because I have these feelings and am trying to navigate them with my husband. I cannot help my feelings any more than you can help yours. Think about that. Think about an off feeling you had and wish you didn't have. It's happened to everyone, including you. So please stop. Update 3. This is not so much an update but a repeat of the edit on my previous update. I am not having an affair with my coworker. I went to him after I was having these feelings about my husband. For advice only. There is no emotional or physical affair going on. I go to him for advice, he gives it and I either take it or I don't. He is not pushing me to do anything, it's just his advice. I literally have no other friends or family in this area, or I would have gone to them. Also, these are my feelings about my husband. I have tried very hard not to feel this way, but I can't stop. I don't know how many of the angels and pure people on this app are able to control their feelings so well, but you obviously are better than I am. None of you have ever had feelings you couldn't shake or feel bad about. If you say you have, you are a liar. I posted my feelings because I am genuinely confused, scared and don't know what to do. I feel that you guys just bash but provide no answers. There have been some of you that have been beautiful and helpful, sending me DMs, and I thank you for that. The rest of you in the comments, think before you post. If you don't want to provide sound advice, please just move on. Final update. Okay, I'm done. Not so much an update, but I have been getting so much hate for simply looking for advice. Comments, DMs, all have been just blasting me. I am not going to post on this anymore. What happens between my husband and I will remain between us. This was the stupidest decision, posting on here and then continuing to post on here. I am not cheating on my husband. It's a coworker. We have talked a few times about it. We only texted a couple of times. We don't talk about feelings for one another. Just someone I asked for a little guidance from, and he was nice enough to give it. Yes, my husband is a good man. No, I am not a piece of crap for having the feelings I do. I stand by talking to him about my feelings, because that is what people do in a marriage. If my marriage is over because he cannot accept what I have to say or change the small things I want him to change, then so be it. But I am done posting. Thank you to the people of Reddit for absolutely nothing. Now to the next story, story 2. Meth-addicted sister stole my identity and opened 4 credit cards in my name. What are my options for getting my credit score back up? Like the title says, my sister, who is addicted to meth, opened several credit cards in my name and maxed them all out quickly. They were mainly used at grocery stores and Target, Walmart. I discovered this when I was served a court summons last week at my apartment. Upon checking my credit report, because I suspected a mistake, I found several unrecognized accounts and a collection account. The total debt was just over $15,000, all accrued around August to September of last year. The accounts were registered at my sister's address, which is an attached apartment at my parents' house. I immediately informed my parents about the situation, and they promised to talk to my sister. A few days later, they mentioned they were considering rehab for her as she had confessed to her meth addiction. A friend in law school advised me that involving the police was the only way to save my credit unless I wanted it ruined for years. When I relayed this to my mom, she asked me to delay involving the police and suggested a family discussion instead. Yesterday, I visited my parents' house and talked with them and my sister. She apologized for opening the accounts and admitted her addiction. She revealed she obtained my social security number from an old tax form and used the credit cards to buy gift cards and household items to trade for meth. She mentioned she was using less and considering rehab. When I shared my friend's advice, my mom urged me not to involve the police. She proposed that I cover the debt over time and that my sister could repay me when she was able, implying an uncertain future about the repayment. Knowing how drug addictions typically go, I am skeptical about the when turning into a never. While I want my sister to overcome her addiction, my credit score, now in the high 400s, is a barrier to buying a house when my lease expires next year. I explained the dire impact of the situation on my financial goals to my parents. They understood, but their solution to pay off the debt didn't address the various negative marks on my credit, like the 90-day late notices, closed accounts, collection actions, and the court summons. They asked me to consider their offer to not involve the police, emphasizing her need for rehab over jail. This morning, my dad reiterated their understanding of my frustration but pleaded for a second chance for my sister. They even proposed buying a house for me, which I would pay back, contingent on not reporting my sister's actions. I am torn. While I agree she needs more help than punishment, her actions involved multiple crimes using my identity. The potential offer from my parents for a 0% interest rate home loan is tied to accepting the financial loss myself. What should I do? I wish to recover my credit score, but I must also consider the human element involved. Update. A few days after my original post, I decided to file a police report, notifying my parents beforehand. Initially, not much happened, but filing the report helped clear my credit report, boosting my credit score by about 270 points, clearing all negative marks. I briefly spoke with an investigator, who was informed that I hadn't lost any money and my credit was restored. He advised continued vigilance on my credit. Shortly after, my mother angrily called me, upset that my sister was going to jail, accusing me of being heartless for reporting her while she was trying to get help. Despite talking about rehab, my sister never took actual steps towards it. She confessed everything to the investigator and was arrested at my parents' home, spending just one night in jail before being released with a court mandate for supervision, restitution, and mandatory rehab, probably the best outcome under the circumstances. My parents are likely to cover the restitution, but my mom lashed out at me, leading to my exclusion from our family's July 4th celebration, claiming it would be hard for my sister to see me. As I plan to buy a house this fall, I am now ensuring that no new issues appear on my credit report. Given the circumstances, I'm considering moving far from my family.
Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.